Whoop-pow! What's up, everybody? Just like that, Tuesday, May 12th is upon us. Thank you all for joining me. And whoop-pow is a Southern saying for there you go. I don't know if it's really Southern saying. It's just fun to say. How about that? Anyway, nonetheless, glad to have you. Welcome once again to Charts After Dark. If you haven't done so, please go hit the like button. It costs nothing to hit the like button. While you're there, subscribe. Catch the notification bell so you don't miss anything that we do. We want everybody to see as much information and as much data possible so they get the best answers they can get, make the best decisions they can possibly make with their funds. All right. It's a tough road to hoe out there, but it's important to understand that there are a lot of people who have your best interest, who do not have your best interest at heart. And there's some people out there who just honestly want to help you out, want to see you do better. It's been a really interesting ride. Like I've said before, you don't expect people to fall off the face of the earth like they have, but hey, there's nothing I can do about that but keep on doing my job and eventually hope that people catch on. You know what I mean? The shadow bans and the really, really interesting engagement fall off for almost everybody in the biz is really, really intriguing to me. And I'd like to know more about those behind the scenes details. Nonetheless, whatever. If you guys that are following along over on X, I appreciate it. You guys are getting not only the stuff that I do with charts, but you're getting other stuff involving sports charts. I actually started a new software today at lunch. I had some extra time. I was like, let me try some new software here and see if I can get the charts to pop a little bit better. I'm not sold yet. Kind of like my little system that I had going. Is it the best? I don't know, but it was working pretty well. So, but I was getting irritated by the glitches and stuff. You know what I mean? That was starting to like piss me off while things were glitching and not working the way I want them to. So I was like, all right, I've about had enough. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Let's jump right into this, right off into the charts world first thing, shall we? And we shall. I got Bitcoin pulled up. You guys know the thumbnails are never clickbait with me. It's always going to keep it real with you and do exactly what you see on the stream. So let's start with Bitcoin. First things first, you see the red 200 moving average up top continues to push the price down and not want to let it get through. I warned you. I talked about this on Tuesday and Thursday and Tuesday and Thursday and Tuesday and Thursday leading up to this. It's exactly what happened. We're watching close. Thursday, there was a pullback. But over the weekend, she made another rush toward that 200 moving average. And I mean, it came within fractions of a decimal of hitting that 200 moving average. I call that a hit to me. All right. After it hit, it did not break through. And for those wondering, no, I didn't expect this to just blow right through the 200 moving average. When that happens, there's usually an abrupt pullback in the opposite direction. Luckily, that didn't happen. She's gotten hung up by the 200 moving average, which is to be expected. It's a very difficult line to break. It's a very hard line in the sand to jump over. And as such, don't expect it to just fall real quick. She's trying. She hasn't gotten through yet and needs a little bit more time. On the plus side of that, you can see my trend line that I've got drawn right here. The green trend line going up, representing the uptrend that we've started back in March and continue on making for the current time being. She did push down here really aggressively over the course of the close that we just had. But as you see, this is so far the third bullish bounce on the trend line. 1, 2, and 3. That would hang loose and say, hey, there's a chance we push on up here and give this 200 moving average another run for our money. Now, underneath the price, still have your 100 and your 50 moving averages acting as support. Now, on the negative side, gave you a positive. Gave you a negative, gave you a positive. Let's switch with another negative here. This was the first close under the AEMA in the last 12 days, or really since the end of April. It's the first time since the end of April that we've seen the price fall in the wait a minute zone, which is the area between the 8 and the 21 EMA. Why do I call it the wait a minute zone? Well, I'm a kid of the 90s, man. I'm a kid of the 80s and a kid of the 90s. I was born in 83, so I got elementary school years where the butted right up to the end of 1990s. My second youngest brother was born right about that time. And I remember I stayed with my dad for a little bit right through there. And they had more channels than we had at my mother's house. And they had Martin to come on TV right after the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air come on, man. And Shanae lived across the hallway from Martin, and one of her sayings, "Oh, no, you didn't." The other ones, wait a minute. She said all the time. She would scream it, right? That was obviously just Martin dressed up as a woman, but you get the point. It was cool to be trans back then.
Damn.
Anyway, that wait a minute zone can hold the price up a little bit. And since that's what happened here, it closed in the wait a minute zone. I like to just wait a minute and see what happens. There's a good possibility she gets right back over that AEMA again and takes a run for that 200 moving average. I'm just pointing out that's the first time it's closed under the AEMA all month. Ichimoku Cloud, I'm happy to report she's still 4 out of 4 here. Your lag line is over the candles. The end cloud, all the way at the very end here, is not red. It is green. That's good. The price is well above the cloud. As you can see there, that's good. Last but not least, the blue line, which is the conversion line, is over the baseline, which is the red line. As long as the blue over the red, that's good. You still got 4 out of 4 for Bitcoin. You're still hanging tough. There's nothing to panic over here. However, it's worth noting, if we zoom out a little bit, give you the full picture, this is still an overall lower high. High, low. Lower high, lower low. Lower high, Are we going to get a higher high? Are we going to come in here and make a higher low? And then maybe make a higher high? What are we going to do? Point is, it's still not quite there. And again, I'll say, I talked about this on Thursday, 94,000, breaking the $94,000 level changes my opinion. Hasn't happened yet. We'll see. Baby steps. It's good that we've had some up here. And it is not oversold on the weekly, overbought on the weekly. So you've got a lot of room there for it to continue to try to climb if it'd like to. Shout out to Matoshi for pointing out that there is a little bit of bearish resistance here on top of the RSI. You got a little bit of a lower high forming right there. But you are still over the blue momentum line. So that's still hanging tough. Again, you got positives and you got negatives here. And I'm to expect that it holds the line. So for now, until next live stream, it's not in a terrible spot. It's just iffy. What's up, Charles? Can't lie. Good to see you, brother. I don't think we're going to get a clarity pump. I don't think that's anything clear about a bill from the government. I think that's the worst possible idea to expect any help from is the government. If there's one thing that I am perfectly sure of, is that the government will never fix your problems. Sorry, is what it is. And if you think the government's here to help, do you ever have it wrong? All there is to it. Just when you think you're getting help from the government,
Gotcha, bitch.
they'll pull that rug right off my 2 feet and down you go. So I don't fall for that stuff. I have zero faith in the government to do anything in the ways of the right thing. So I never have and never will expect the government to do the right thing. That's the kind of people, honestly, I don't do politics on here, right? But that's the kind of talk that people who get into politics say because they just don't like the government, blah, blah, blah. And then they get in there and they become part of the problem. So it's whatever. Is what it is. More so, can we talk about altcoins for a moment? Because it's worth noting here that many altcoins have caught a wave. Now, I'm not saying they're all going to go flying up, but it is worth noting that we've had several take off and make a move here. It's pretty awesome to see. I'm glad for it. I'm going to throw a couple up on the screen here so you can see. How about we start with CRO? I watch UFC. I've been watching UFC since the early 90s when I was able to rent it from Movie Mania. You guys won't know what Movie Mania is, but Movie Mania was a pizza and videotape store where you could rent the videotapes and get pizza. Same place. It was in Chapel Grove, right near Captain's Cap. Now, you kids at home are not going to understand what I'm talking about, but you Gastonia heathens like me are going to know exactly what I'm talking about, especially if you're from the same era as me, because there's Movie Mania. I mean, come on. But you could rent the UFC tapes, right? So they sponsor UFC, in case you didn't know. Everybody comes out to the ring, and CRO's Crypto.com is right on the chest of everyone that walks out. Has meant absolutely nothing for the price ever. But worth noting, over the last several days here, we have broken the 821 EMA, broken the 50 moving average, broken the 100 moving average. From the bottom here, price is up 17%, and you were actually up 22% on that wick right there. It's the best series of days that CRO has had in quite a while. I'm going to erase some of these fibs here because it's old news. Looking back, what's up, Stephen? Good to see you, brother. Looking back here, we've got into the wait a minute zone between the 8 and the 21 EMA. Grab something to drink. Could tell I was about to cough. That's the best this has looked all the way since September of 25. It hasn't had, and it was bad then, right? It's the best it's really looked since June of 25. We made a very, very abrupt move up. And if you haven't noticed, this is kind of what CRO does. Kind of rides up, rides down, rides up, rides down. It's been doing this the entire history of the asset, all the way back to where it was created and dropped on everybody, right? Big fall off, and you've tried to fight back a couple times. But again, interesting to note that it's up 20-something%, right? Off to some more here. How about CRV? CRV over the last few days, from the bottom to the top, that's 40% since this move started up here. Very, very promising move heading toward the 200 moving average. Many assets are working their way toward the 200 moving average. May not have gotten there yet, but they're looking like they want to go. Here's Jupiter, or Jupe. And if you didn't know about Jupiter, there was a ton of meme coins launched on Jupe, or Jupiter, which is on the Solana wallet. That was a DEX. You could make a shit coin or a meme coin on there, and you could throw it up on a DEX real quick, and people would be super foolish and throw money at it. Not my thing. Not something I cooperate in. Not something I participate in. As a matter of fact, I kept that stuff completely out of the chat in the Discord. If you guys who didn't know, the Discord's right down there below, wop.com/team786. First month free, then less than the price of one Starbucks coffee. Because I think the base model Starbucks coffee is $9 now. Or cheaper than Starbucks coffee. Come on, man. One a month. One. Anyway, we kept all that crap out and moved it to this own separate channel, which then went dry once the meme coin phase died, which I'm glad to say happened because it didn't do anything good for anybody but about 4 to 5% of people. Anyway, Jupiter, if from the bottom, is up 72% right now, and it actually peaked out at a high of 95%. Super impressive. Can't deny the success. Look at Tau, bit sensor. Broke the downtrend line here and is still riding on top of the AEMA as we speak. If we just go back to the move in April, that's 31%. And I would be remiss to not talk about what I have not spoke about on the live stream in a very long time. DAG, Constellation. This is one of the... So, it doesn't matter whether you say good things or bad things. They just continue to hate you until you say exactly what they think should be said. They attack you with FUD. They have a FUD channel. Come on, man. Anyway, I just do charts. That's all I care about. I want to see people make money. I don't want to see anybody lose money. This thing bounced super aggressively after getting all the way down to the 2020 lower support, aka last hope box that I drew. This was target box number 3. Right there, you see it. Target box number 3. Go back and watch the other live streams. You'll see me talk about this and specifically talk about how this is going to happen. It's going to come down here at target box 3. Watch and see. No, it won't. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And all these people are telling me about all these bullish news things are going to happen. I'm just going, man, whatever. Look at the charts. I'm glad to see this thing bounce. It took a monster move, currently 174%, but it peaked out at 236% from the bottom. From the end or the beginning of May, well, end of April, beginning of May. Very impressive move. Now, that being said, we have tagged the trend line here, the weekly trend line. You're also running into the bottom of resistance. It's the same resistance that it ran into several weeks ago when it threw a couple ugly candles. Now, I will say this is better than it has been. It's fighting the weekly 50 moving average right now. Hasn't fought that weekly 50 moving average since almost a year ago. Looking back at things on the daily, you're over every moving average, a blue film all at once. And like I said earlier when I was talking about Bitcoin, when these things go that fast in one direction, they tend to slow back down. Now, this one hasn't done that yet. However, you are seeing some slowdown candles at the top here, but still over the 8 EMA. You're still over your 21 EMA. All your moving averages are bundling up. If this thing rolls back, and I do think it's going to probably roll back some here, back to 0.0125-ish or 0.02, or 0.015-ish to 0.013.5. 0.0125, that's better. 0.0125 to 0.015. That makes sense. That's in that green box right here. The 2020 upper support would be really helpful if it held on to that. That's where the weekly 821 EMA resides. I think that's a good spot for it to come back and test support. See if it can hang on there, right? Point being here that many altcoins have started to fight back. I'm going to hit the pause button for everyone to let you know I don't think it's over. I don't think the up is over, and I definitely don't think the down is over. I think there's more down to come later. I think everyone's going to get their hearts broken as the rest of the summer and then the fall plays out, right? Because that's typically what happens every single bear market, the same time, every single bear market, the same thing happens where people get online and start talking about how the bull runs a super cycle. We're going to have way more up, and the same thing happens where we start to slow down, slide sideways. You don't get the economic change that you thought you were going to get. You don't get the massive rate cuts that you thought you were going to get, and down comes the price till the end of the year. I think that's likely to happen. Bitcoin dominance is still way out front, which we're going to talk about next. That's just how I see it. What's up, Distinctive Shine? Good to see you, brother. So, y'all go hit like if you haven't done so, man. It's $3 over here for the like button. If you're watching over on Rumble, give us a like over there too. If you're watching over on X, give us a like, give us a repost, brah. It costs absolutely nothing. All right. So real quick, let me look at Bitcoin dominance. This is interesting. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. I feel it. It didn't happen, luckily. But you just feel like you're going to sneeze, you know, right on the precipice of sneezing. Whew. I hate that feeling, man. So this looks messy. I'm sorry. But I don't like deleting things off my charts. I like to keep them as I drew them so that I can go back and look and see what I was thinking and try to, like, I don't know, measure my progress for myself. And the one way I can do it is by leaving the drawings on the chart. Okay. So going back and looking, I've wrote the cycles in horizontal lines here. I'm sorry, vertical lines here. Having the white line is when the bull run's typically over. Yellow line's typically the buy line, and then you start over, right? Green line halving, red line alt season, white line bottom. I'm sorry, white line top. Yeah, white line, bull run over, bull run over. Red line alt season, white line bull run over, yellow buy time. Halving, alt season, bull run over, buy time. And it's, if you look, it's very, very cyclical. Not perfect, but it's very cyclical. We've crossed over the white line, and I can't even put these little red labels over here. It says we are here. This is the same time in 2018, which was a little different. As you see, we had a rollback faster in March and April back in 2018. And then the same thing kind of happened over here. March and April had up. Then you got more up from April, May through June, where it really started to slow down. And just by dates, this is roughly the exact same time where we were 4 years ago. And as you see, Bitcoin dominance started to catch a little bit of a wave after that white vertical line. There's that white vertical line and the wave that it caught. White vertical line and the wave that it's catching. And here we are again. White vertical line catching a wave. Fair enough. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, oh my God, I'm just pointing out some basic rhythmic patterns here. That orange line that was a support line that we failed, we've smacked it as resistance many times. And while we are over it right now, I'm going to warn you. You got moving averages underneath the price. It looks to me like we're going to slow down a little bit here. And if we slow down a little bit, back to this orange line for another test, if Bitcoin dominance comes down, and we don't see altcoin dominance stay up, then we're in trouble. All right. And you can go look at any altcoin dominance chart that you'd like. Doesn't really matter. The point is, if you don't see that happening, we could be in trouble. It doesn't take much to tip this boat back over in the wrong direction. Okay. And as you'll see here, every big move up right around this time eventually got caught and waved back down. Big move up, got caught and waved back down. All right. Big move up, caught and waved back down. And then you had your rebuy time, which kind of happened during the sideways in 2018. Coming through here, it kind of happened right perfectly at the bottom. Difference is now we're over this big red trend line now, right? And we did break this short-term trend line, which again makes me think, hey, a back test of this trend line somewhere over here wouldn't be the end of the world. More so, since we got support from moving averages, the 200 moving average is slowly creeping up. See that? Coming back and testing that 200 moving average seems like a solid idea. If it does that, that's probably it. I'm not saying that is the bottom, but it's probably close to the bottom. This line right here, this yellow line, is still where I think the buy line is, based on Bitcoin dominance, based on the regular Bitcoin chart, which you'll see here. There we go. Here's the regular Bitcoin chart. Same story here. Having to break this resistance level is likely going to hold you up. And if that's the case, a pullback toward this line. I don't even necessarily care where the price is over here. It's more so the timeline. Okay. Is it worth it to be in something that barely goes up if you've got the absolute bottom? Or would you rather have your money be liquid, meaning you have it in your hand and you can use it and you're able to buy at the right time, not necessarily the perfect place? Well, it's a give and take, and it's up to you. I've learned over the years that I want to try to buy at the right time. Buying at the right place almost never gets you what you want. You almost always come in a little higher or a little lower than where you thought. It's just the way it is. We can get really close with TA. That's the whole point. We want to buy and sell in better spots. We use data analytics, technical analysis to find better spots to get in and out. It's the same thing pro ball teams do when they're analyzing players. They use data analytics and technical analysis to figure out which players are the best amongst a large group. They then file those down and sort those players by position. They then file them down even more and sort them by value based on position. They sort them down even more and decide which ones are the best athletes out of the bunch, because those usually have the higher success rates. They sort them down even more and go, gosh, which ones are going to go to the top 32? And then those are worth the most money. And then they decide, do we want to put that much money into someone or not? It's a really interesting strategy. Every single team does this across every single sport in the world. It's really difficult to convince people of it because it's something that you haven't done before, and it's out of your comfort zone. It's out of everyone's comfort zone to hear that kind of thing. That's why you see me doing it over on X. If you haven't done it, go check it out at CarolinaKeith_1 over on X. It's the same thing over on Rumble, I think. But you're going to get data analytics from me too, is what it is. I'm just going to give it to you straight. Data analytics is my shit, man. And we've learned from we've learned from history. It's the best way to sort things out. So there's my take. I'd love to see Bitcoin keep going here. I don't necessarily trust it, but if so, keep it running. Let's keep the momentum moving. Next, we'll do the last bit of crypto stuff here. Last one I'll do here is XRP. Do it every single live stream because this is the number one asked. So keep going after it. So it continues to go dead Frankenstein sideways, but it's still over the 821 EMA. So you still have an optimal setup here. Your 100 moving average and your 50 moving average underneath the price, acting as support. 200 moving average still slowly pressing down here. You haven't quite gotten over the hump. It's thinking about it. You have about 18 to 20% from here to the 200 moving average, if it so chooses to move that way. Looking at weekly, you're in the wait a minute zone, just like I explained at the beginning of the stream. You have about 9% to the 21 EMA. Okay. And if you break that 21 EMA, I'm going to warn you, you got a trend line up here, right? That red trend line. Ain't going to fall easy. It's going to play hardball and not let the price get through it. So while we have an optimal setup, we still have limited upside. So I want you to be careful. Be careful out there. Don't be the sucker who thinks everything's just going to go flying up. They don't listen even though I say it, but don't be that guy. Ichimoku cloud. Now you're in a little bit better spot. Green cloud on the end. We like that, don't we? That's right. It ain't red. Is the price over the cloud? Hey, it is. A rare moment for XRP. Is the baseline over the conversion line? Is the blue over the red? It is. Hey, not too bad. Is the lag line over the candles? And it is right on the candles right now. So it's that close. If you have another good close here, you may see the lag line over the candles, which will give us a 4 out of 4 bullish look for the Ichimoku cloud. So you've got 821 EMA, you're good. 5100 moving average, you're good. You're almost good on the Ichimoku cloud. Pivot points, you're over the pivot, you bounced off of it well, you did get hung up into R1, so this is kind of neutral. The Bollinger Bands, look at this, continue to go sideways and become more and more narrow, and as they do that, they'll pinch and increase volatility. Here's your RSI. You're still not overbought and in general have an upswinging momentum. While slow, it is in general up. MACD, you've had 5 days of green volume, even with a couple red candles. Still not more sellers than buyers. You still got more buyers than sellers. That's why you're still in an uptrend. You're still over that 821 EMA. Not terrible amount of divergence there, so that's okay. So you have some upside here. While limited, you have upside. Weekly, Bollinger Bands are going to continue to get tighter. I don't expect some big monster move to blow through those. I don't see that happening. But between the weekly 21 EMA, which is at about $1.60, $58.60, and the daily 200 moving average, which is at 174, I think those are two realistic targets for the price if we get a big push up here. That's going to piss a lot of people off. I don't like live to piss anybody off. That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it works out. People get mad when you don't say what they want you to say. Is what it is. Now, for the big dogs, S&P 500. My goodness, fellas, look at this. Jesus Christ, it's still up here at the 1618 fib. Still over the 1414 and the 1272. These are all three take profit fibs. You can't see that because my stupid head's in the way. There you go. 1272, 1414, and the 1618 continue to act as your take profit fibs. Tagged it and rode up, and you're almost, if not already, hit the 1618 at $740. Super impressive move for the S&P 500. Keeps on showing the power that you really wanted to see from it after that bounce. It's overbought as hell. The weekly's almost overbought. The daily has been overbought. You see it there. Wow. Wow. Sell in May and go away. Are you going to sell in May here and go away? We're going to find out. For now, S&P 500 keeps on going up. NASDAQ. Goodness. Look at the flex by the NASDAQ here. Over the 1618. Over the 8 EMA. Threw a red candle and bounced the 8 EMA again. Look at the overbought. What? That's okay. Your pivot points, you're over everything but R3, and that's up at 30,000. It looks like 30,000 is going to happen sooner rather than later. Incredibly impressive for the NASDAQ. How about Google real quick? Guess what? A little bit of slowdown, but still not a ton. She's still over the 8 EMA. Looked like it was going to fail it this afternoon and managed to hang on to it. Or see where pre-market comes in at. Dang, Google's trying to hold tough up here in the take profit zones. If it can kind of hang tough here, you challenged 400 at 398. I'd like to see it challenge it one more time and take a poke up there at that 1618 fib. That would be ideal to me. Last one we'll do, Tesla. Really impressive fight back from the ugly move here. Since that ugly move down there, you are at 28% to the positive with a peak of 33%. That happened just the other day. Really, really solid move for Tesla. Drop the moving averages off, and you'll see that we're playing around with golden pocket levels here at 618 to 71. That's a typical upward retrace after a nice little clean breakout and back test that we got right there. All right. So now, if we don't hold on to this level, we are looking for a higher low. There's our low, and there's our high, and there's our higher low, low, higher low. Here's our higher high, high, higher high. We want one more right through here to make our next higher low and potentially push up for our higher high. That's the way an uptrend works, folks. Simple as that. It's really not as complicated as people make it out to be. Your moving average is acting as support here. If you fail back, 410 to 400 would be a realistic price target for a retrace. You did smack R3 and fail, but you're still over R2, so you're bouncing back and forth in between that. June 9th would be really interesting to have it $420, wouldn't it? That'd be 69420. You guys know who know, right?
Come on, man.
If you don't know, what are you doing? Anyway, here's the weekly. Same thing, got moving averages for support. It thinks that, realistically speaking, we need to make a run at all-time high here, just to challenge it again and kind of make the bulls stir the pot for the bears a little bit, get them a little frisky, make them worried. $600 still needs to happen, in my opinion. Linear log doesn't really matter. It's the same spot on the chart. The breakouts would be different. The breakout still aims for that 1618 level. I'm interested to see what happens in the future here. Tesla's got a bright future. They got new stuff coming out. Everybody loves to hate them. I don't care either way. I just want to make money. I don't know why people don't get that yet. Hopefully, it starts to snap with people. So, awesome 30 minutes. I went by fast. It was quick paced. We got through a lot of charts and a lot of information. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I really do. I appreciate the engagement on the chats. Appreciate the likes. Appreciate you guys sharing it around. That's awesome of you fellas. Thank you all. Appreciate y'all. We'll be back again Thursday, same time in 2 days. We'll do this all over again. Keep checking them. Keep watching them. Not digging hardcore into all the altcoins like you guys have noticed. There's no real reason to do that until we see all things start to change. We've seen some happiness come off the bottoms here, but we're just making a little bit of recovery for now. Thank you guys. Appreciate you all watching. I'll see you again on Thursday. Same time, same channel. Till then, I'm out. Y'all be good, man. Y'all know the deal. Sky's the limit. I'm out. Peace.